Hey guys, and welcome to the Lazy Lemon Creations podcast. My name is Lindsay, and you can find me on Instagram as Lazy Lemon Creations, and you can find me on Ravelry as Lazy Lemon. This is my podcast all about my knitting and crochet and cross stitch. Only knitting this week. I've misplaced my cross stitch and I'm still looking for it. I really just need to go back and look at my show notes and find out what episode I talked about it last, but I haven't done that yet. But anyway, I live in the heart of the New River Valley with my husband and our 2 kids, both of which are in school today. It is November 30th. It is the last day of November. So I wanted to go ahead and get this podcast recorded so that I can get it up by today and then start December out nice and fresh. So let's jump right in. First, this is the last day of the make-along that Lisa of 72 Stitches, Amy of Happy Little Yarn, and myself are all co-hosting the Knit All the 2023. That ends today. Use the hashtag on Instagram. Tomorrow, the 3 of us will pick a person. Each of us will pick a person, so there will be 3 total winners. And we will message you, and you will win a pattern prize of your choice. So I think I'd have to check with Amy and Lisa, but I think we're putting like a $10 limit on it or something like that. But you'll get a pattern prize for participating in our make-along. And so today's the last day, so I wanted to go ahead and mention that because it won't be on the podcast anymore. So that concludes November's wrap-up for everything that needed to be talked about. And before I get into... No, let's go ahead and start. So first on the agenda is I have 2 FOs and 1 whip today. I'm going to get my sock blocker out here. I have the pair done, but I only really want to put on 1 sock blocker, so that's what I'm going to do. So there we go. And no, my end is not woven in right there, and then on the other one the end is right there. I need to weave it in. I haven't yet. I do that at the end right before I gift them because I like to do the socks like one over glance just to make sure that there's no holes or anything like that, and I take all my stitch markers off, so I don't weave my ends in right away. I wait until I'm ready to gift them. But anyway, this pair of socks, got the whole pair done, is a gift for someone in my church. She has 3 kids, and so this is for her daughter. Her daughter loves rainbows. And so it is a magic heel that I did, and a 2x2 cuff of 56 stitches, which is not my normal. I typically do 64 stitches, but these are for little children. It's a 56 stitch 2x2 cuff. I did these on magic loop on a ChowGoo size 1.5 with a US 1.5, which is a 2.5 millimeter needle. I did 10 rows before I started my heel, and then I did my heel, and then I did 40 rows of like the actual foot, just because with this type of heel they can grow into it based on how long their foot gets. And then I made the pair. I still have my stitch markers into it, and I still have to make 2 more. But that is my first FO, and I finished that 2 or 3 nights ago, and I need to do the other 2 socks that I have set aside for that, and so I can get those out as gifts along with the hats that go along with them. So that was my first FO. Those were resting in my Daisy Girl and Company bag, which is hosting my whip, so you'll see that in just a little bit. So I'm still using the bag, and I'm really excited to do the hats and then the socks as well for the other 2. Those shouldn't take me as long because their foot's smaller, and now I know my count, so everything will be all right. And then the last FO that I have, let me get it out. Oh, I can't even get it in front. There we go. Is my Litmus cowl. Okay, so last time I podcasted, hold on. There we go. The last time I podcasted, that's where I was with our little bat boy. And I did the black, orange, pink. Okay, so this gray section was the very first, no, this pink section was the very first mini, okay? And this gray section started it off so that it fades, okay? So this pink mini was the very first mini, and if you look right here, you can see the line where I joined. But from that line to that stitch marker, I did since my last podcast episode. And I had never Kitchenered a tube this big before, so I was really nervous about that. But it went over smoothly. I was really happy with it. I have not blocked this. This is just off the needles in just its current state. I want to block it, maybe just a little bit, just to see what it'll do. But this is my Litmus cowl that I did alongside Lisa and Amy. I did the minis from Cuddle Bums Yarn in the Birthday Rainbows colorway. And then the black is Knit Picks. It's actually Felici called Midnight, but their straw black would also suffice. But I did it with a black mini. Lisa did hers with a gray mini. And Amy did hers with a white mini. But we all did the exact same thing. The exact same pattern and the minis. And I love it so much. This Litmus cowl is super soft. And I finished that as well before this podcast. So I was really excited to get that off the needles because it had been a long time whip. I want to say it was 2 months. No, it was longer than 2 months. It was more than 3 months. But those are my FOs that I have, just the two. I knit the Litmus cowl on a US 2, which is a 2.75, I want to say. 16-inch magic loop is what I did for the Litmus cowl. I do almost everything on magic loop. I want to get some 9-inch circulars to try on socks, but I just hear so many people say that their gauge is different and everything, and I don't like messing with that if I don't have to, so I'm not the biggest fan of trying to assess what my gauge is going to change and anything else, so I would try it, but I'm probably going to always stick with magic loop. So got my water today in my Starbucks cup. Trying to cut out all soda, which makes me really sad. I've been getting headaches a lot, and a lot of people's like, oh, it's because you're cutting caffeine. No, I'm not sure why I've been getting the headaches, but they always start directly behind my right eye, and it's debilitating when it happens. So I wanted to cut back as much as I could. So one of the things I can cut is soda. So we'll go from there and see. So then that's all for my FOs. Let's jump into my whips, which again is in my Daisy Girl & Company bag. And I've got my camera set up in a new way, so I keep looking at the viewfinder screen, so I apologize if that's distracting. I don't mean for it to be. But, these socks are knit in the Psychedelic Sunset Knit Picks Felici color. And I had 2 balls of it, so then now I am putting the Knit Picks Felici Psychedelic Sunset and Knit Picks Stroll. And focus. There we go. In the Dove Heather colorway. I'm putting them together and I am knitting. Hold on. We've got lots of strands of yarn all floating around here, so it's a little confusing. There we go. Well, nope, it's still a mess. Yes. We've got a mess, but that's okay. Everybody gets messes, and it is what it is. but you can see it without the mess. You can tell. But it's the start of a hat. And I am holding the two yarns together, and it's giving this beautiful marbling effect. Let's see if it'll focus on the yarn. But I am doing, let me look up the hat. It's by Jody Brown. It's one of her older patterns, but I think it's called the Star Top Beanie. And it's one of the hats that's actually really easily constructed, but I wanted to do something. I didn't want to hold them double to do a Musselburgh. I was not going to enjoy that with the thickness of the yarn and the gauge that I would get. So I didn't want to do a muscle burrow for the little kids. And so I figured if I do the Star Top Beanie with the two strands held together, then it would be a really good hat to get going. It is the Star Top Beanie. The only difference is I am not going to be doing a pom-pom. And yeah, so to start off with, you have to do a 1x1 rib, and it is a 1x1 knitted rib, and the knit stitches are knit through the back loop so that it stands out a little bit more. All the numbers and everything like that are in the pattern. I will have that linked down below. I'm not sure if it's free. It is on my Ravelry though. I don't believe it's free because it says that I purchased it, but it is an amazing hat. Really good, really nicely written, very much enjoy it. So that is what my current whip is. I am knitting this on a US 6, which is a 4mm 16-inch Chalgo needle, and it's just living here in my bag, and I'm just holding the strands together and knitting directly from the balls of Felici. And that is my TV knitting right now when I get my chance, and that's my only whip. So both FOs and whips are done. So let's get into my November stats of where I stand for the month. So in the month of November, while I did purchase some yarn, which are Christmas gifts for my friends, they're not all staying with me. They're not here yet, so they don't count. And I honestly don't know if I'm going to count gift yarn that I'm buying for someone else, because it's not going into my stash. I'm literally buying it to be sent out for Christmas. So yeah, it doesn't count. I'll show it when it gets here, but it doesn't count. So for November, the yarn in was 0 grams. I'm so proud. And the yarn out was 250 grams. The biggest one was the Litmus cowl. And so, speaking of, I started the Litmus cowl on September 1st, and I finished it on November 21st. And so that was 206 grams. That whole cowl was 206 grams. And then the other thing I finished in November was the Psychedelic Sunset socks. And I started those on the 1st of November, and I finished them on the 28th of November, and they were 44 grams. And then for the grams used for the month, I used 250 grams, and for the year to date, I am positive 462 grams. But that's not how many I've used all year. That's just the difference in grams in and grams out for the year so far. I will, at the end of December, calculate how many grams I actually used, and versus, well, no, I'm just going to calculate how many grams I actually used. And I'm really hoping at the start of the year, there was this post about using 2,023 grams. I hope I reached that number, but I don't think I did. There was a lot of months that I was not that positive in the yarn out. So we'll see. We'll see what December brings. Still got a few more projects left to do. And I only used just a few pages of my notebook, so I'm going to continue into 2024 tracking my projects as well. I really enjoy it. It keeps me on track. It helps me know how long It lets me know how long a whip has been lingering, so I know whether or not it's bringing me joy, whether or not I should frog it, or anything like that. So, acquisitions. I have one gift that's here already, and then I have 3 purchases that I'm waiting on. 2 of them are for Christmas gifts, so those won't be here. I think the earliest one is being delivered tomorrow, but it could be a while now. So, let's go into my acquisitions that I got. The amazing Amber of Amie Marie Knits on Instagram and YouTube reached out to me and said, hey, I saw your video and it said that you weren't getting any advents this year. Can I send you one? And I said, absolutely. I said, you don't have to do that, but I would absolutely love one. And so she did. Not only did she send me an advent though, she sent me a bag. Look at this. So it's the Grinch and Max all over, and it is on some black and white buffalo plaid. Well, actually, if it's black and white, then it wouldn't be buffalo plaid, would it? Is it gingham plaid? Anyway, I love it. I love it so much. I love this bag. The inside is Christmas lights. Look how cute they are. I love it so much. And it's a drawstring bag, so it cinches up. And it's actually a pretty decent sized bag. This would probably hold, I mean, easily 2 skeins, probably very easily 3 skeins of yarn. It's a very good size project bag. It's not too big that it can't be a sock project bag, but it also can easily hold like a cowl or anything like that. So the advent that she sent me was minis that she has dyed. And so I'm going to show them to you. Spoiler alert. If you have an advent by her, and this is what she's sending out, don't look. But I could not wait. When it arrived, my daughter got so excited. She wanted to help me open it, so we did. And I am so glad that I went ahead and opened it. We've enjoyed looking at these minis so much. And so I'm going to show it here on the podcast. If you don't want to see, please look away. I don't want to spoil it for anybody. But I am happy with this advent, and so I'm going to show it off. So I kind of accidentally grouped them by color and didn't really mean to, but that's okay. Look at these yarns. That one is yellow and green. Then you have like a sea foamy tilly blue, a light sage green, like a slate gray, a blue and red, a black and red. Whoop! There went my slate gray. The black and red. Then we have like a slate blue over here. We have one that's multicolored. It's got greens and purples, pinks, oranges, and like blues all throughout it. And then we have like this magenta. Then we have a light pink. We have red, and then we have this mauve maroon color as well. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. And then not only did it come with the minis, she also included, every few minis came with a little bitty prize. And that was my daughter's favorite part, was picking out the different prizes. And so I got a few stickers here that are super, super cute. Hold on. Knit fast, dye warm. And just knitting, and then, okay, never underestimate the power of a woman with knitting skills. There we go. I could not read that through the camera backwards. And then the heart with the knitting needles. Look. And so I got some stickers, and my daughter asked if she could have them, and I've said no. I'm going to keep them. And then I got 2 stitch markers and then a little keychain. And so the first stitch marker that I have here, hold on. It's a little mushroom. It's a clear little mushroom. It's so tiny and cute. He's adorable. I really like it. It is so cute. And he stands up, so I enjoy that. And then a lemon. Look. The little lemon with the leaf in it. I love it so much. Of course, I'm Lindsay Lemon. Why wouldn't I want all the lemon themed things? There was actually a Arkansas Yarn Company yarn of the month that they had done last year over the summer, and it was lemon themed. Oh, my heart was so envious of that, of everyone who received that package. That was absolutely amazing. And I know, had I had the funds, I would have purchased it as well, but it was an absolutely amazing yarn of the month box. And then this little keychain, hold on. Let's see if it shows up. It's got a little heart at the top, like a little locket. And then it's a little knitting sweater. And then some tassels. And so it's just super, super cute. I'm probably going to let my daughter hold on to this one because she loves keychains. She has one on her book bag that she just adds everything to. So I probably will let her have that one. And those are my minis. And that was my package from Amber that it completely surprised me. And I was so happy that she sent it my way. I have been talking to her about what I'm going to make with it, and I think I am going to do probably the granny wrap shawl and do it for my daughter. She is becoming knit worthy. She just turned 7, and so she is appreciating it more and more and learning how to take care of things properly. And so she likes to wrap up in blankets and shawls. So I think I'm going to make her a granny wrap shawl with those minis that she helped me open because she would really enjoy that. So I'm excited to do that. So that is the FOs, the whips, the acquisitions. The next thing is future cast-ons, which again, that'll be the brothers socks and hats that I am doing for the family at church. And then that will finish out my December knitting. I don't have any plans to cast on anything else until those projects are done. I want to be very monogamous when it comes into finishing these gifts. So that's my goal, is to work on those in December. And then we're going to start 2024, and I have no idea what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to do a lot of socks because that's what I enjoy doing. And I do have some yarn coming that is staying with me, and I'm excited to see how it's going to work up. It is the new Knit Picks Felicini. I don't know how to say it. It looks like Felicini. Felicini. I don't know. So whenever that new yarn comes, I got 2 balls of it. They had 8 colors, I think, 8 or 9 colors. I only picked 2. I'm going to test it and see if I like it. If I like it, if it's comparable to Felici, I might do more, but the biggest difference I can see is that it's micro striped instead of wider stripes, and it's a 100-gram ball instead of a 50-gram ball. And so if those are the only differences they made, I don't know how well this yarn's going to do. So we'll see. I got it to try it and see. We'll figure it out together. I'll make some socks with it, and we'll go from there. Then reading and watching in life. So for reading, I finished Iron Flame, and I finished that by the last podcast episode. And I was still in such a book hangover that I haven't picked up another book. I talked to my husband about it, and we are going to do Kindle Unlimited for me for Christmas. That's going to be one of my Christmas gifts. And so we're going to get that set up. And I have gotten a Frida McFadden book. I think it's called The Coworker. I'm trying to look at my bookshelf and see, but I can't read from this far away. And I think I'm going to start that next. Kind of give myself a little palette refresher and see what I can find, see what I can deep dive into. The podcast I listen to, Fantasy Fangirls podcast, they are going to start A Court of Thorns and Roses starting in March. End of February, beginning of March, they're going to start doing the deep dive on that. And I kind of want to follow along with them, but also, I don't know if I like reading on a pace of somebody else's schedule. So I don't know if I want to read it. I'm going to read it. I just don't know if I'm going to read it along with the podcast. So A Court of Thorns and Roses is on the docket to be read soon. Again, maybe I'm waiting for Kindle Unlimited because I have it in a physical copy. I have all the books over there in the physical copy set. And I love reading a physical book. But now that I've become a knitter and a crocheter, I say that as if it's just a recent thing. I've been doing it for a few years now. But now that I knit and crochet, I like reading on my Kindle because I don't have to stop what I'm doing to turn a page, to hold the book open. A physical book is a lot harder to read while trying to do something else, and I get the point is you're not supposed to be doing something else. But my Kindle made it so easy to be able to knit and read at the same time because I could just tap it with my pinky while I continue knitting. Because of my stand for my Kindle, I loved it so much, and it spoiled me, and now I don't want to read with anything but my Kindle. So I've got all these books on my shelves that look absolutely gorgeous, and I don't want to read them because they're physical books. Who else feels that way? That they have all the things that they want to use, but they just don't want to use it in that format. But it's okay. Books are meant to be loved one way or another, and I'll figure it out. And then watching. We have been watching The Chosen still. I'm about to finish season 3. And Young Sheldon. Young Sheldon just came out on Netflix. And so we are starting that. We have seen quite a few episodes just throughout its time on TV and stuff like that. But we don't have satellite TV anymore. So we do streaming for nearly everything. So we're starting that over and we're excited to watch it. And then we also watched the newest Leo movie that's on Netflix. That's really cute. The Adam Sandler movie. It's worth checking out. It's really good. It's really cute. And then for my daughter's birthday, we went and saw the new Trolls movie that came out. And my son decided he was not going to participate in the movie theater. So me and my husband alternated between who sat with him in the lobby. And so we each got half of the movie. I can tell you the first half and he can tell you the second half, but we both didn't even get to catch the whole movie. So we'll watch that again when it comes out on some sort of streaming platform. And then, my son got his first big boo-boo. He fell on Thanksgiving and he got hurt. He got cut on his little cheek and we ended up in the hospital to get one stitch in his little cheek, which it has since healed then. It has been an entire week and the stitch dissolved. It was a dissolvable stitch. He's all healed. He's all better, but he got his first real boo-boo and bless his heart, he took it like a champ. He was so great for that. But that's it. That's been life. That's been November. We're going to jump into December where my son will turn 4 and then we will have Christmas. And so it's going to be a busy but wonderful month. We are excited to enjoy the holiday season together as a family. And that about wraps it up for me. So like and subscribe. Also, my Ko-Fi is linked down below if you want to support the podcast. Any and all donations go right back into the podcast. So I appreciate all those who have helped with that. And then I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day. I will edit this and hopefully get it up by this afternoon. And I will see you in December. Bye, guys.